Dear seniors, tell me honestly, how many nights have you laid in bed with your eyes closed but your mind wide awake? Your body is tired, but your thoughts refuse to sleep. You try everything, closing your eyes tightly, changing positions, counting backwards, but your mind keeps running like a train with no brakes. If that feels like your life right now, this video is for you. Many seniors secretly suffer from something they don't talk about. Nighttime overthinking. Not pain, not illness, not noise, but the mind itself becoming louder at night. During the day, life keeps you busy. Talking to family, doing household chores, reading the newspaper, going to the park, watching TV. But the moment silence arrives, the mind begins speaking. Memories, worries, regrets, future fears, thoughts like, what will happen to my health next year? Will I become a burden to my family? Why did I make those mistakes back then? What if something goes wrong tomorrow? Why do I feel alone even when I'm surrounded by people? And before you realize it, hours pass, but sleep doesn't. If this sounds familiar, then you are not alone. Millions of seniors across the world struggle with nighttime mental noise. Not because there is something wrong with you, but because your brain has learned to stay awake when the world sleeps. And today, in this video, I will give you a simple scientifically backed mind quietening technique that seniors can use every night to silence the mind and fall asleep peacefully, even if nothing else worked before. So, stay with me till the end. Why do seniors overthink more at night? Before we talk about how to silence the mind, we must understand why the mind becomes so loud after sunset, especially for seniors. Overthinking is not a weakness. It is not a mental illness. It is not something only a few suffer from. It is a natural response of the brain when it feels unsafe, unoccupied, or emotionally loaded. And for seniors, nighttime becomes the stage where the brain acts like a speaker on full volume. Let's break down the 5 powerful reasons why overthinking increases at night for seniors.
1. Less daily activity. As we grow older, the body slows down. Maybe walking has become harder. Maybe joints ache. Maybe energy isn't what it used to be. Or maybe retirement reduced the need to be busy all day. All your life, your mind and body worked together. You were active, working, taking care of the family, running responsibilities, solving problems. Your brain was always focused on doing something. But now, when daily physical movement decreases, mental movement increases. The energy that the body doesn't use physically is redirected inward to thinking. So instead of walking outside, the brain starts walking inside. Instead of traveling, the mind starts traveling into memory. Instead of working all day, the brain starts working all night. That's why many seniors say, "During the day I'm fine, but the moment I lie down, my mind wakes up." This is not your fault. It is simply unused mental energy with no physical outlet.
2. Silence and darkness trigger deeper thinking. During the day, life is full of distractions. People talking, phones ringing, television running, cars passing outside, daily tasks demanding attention. But at night, the world becomes quiet. The noise stops. The distractions disappear. There is nothing to interrupt your mind. And the brain does something very interesting. When external noise disappears, internal noise increases. Silence is like a magnifying glass. Every thought feels 10 times louder. Small worries become big worries. One simple thought becomes a chain of 50 thoughts. It's like sitting in an empty theater where suddenly your mind becomes the only actor on stage, performing endlessly. That's why many seniors say, "I feel more emotional at night."
because darkness and silence allow the brain to bring up things we ignored all day.
3. Hormonal changes. As we age, our body chemistry changes, especially our sleep hormones. Melatonin, the hormone that tells our brain it's time to sleep, starts decreasing. At the same time, cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress, increases. This creates the perfect environment for overthinking. Less sleep signal, more worry signal. So the body may be tired, but the brain is alert and active. It's like the mind is drinking coffee while the body is asking for rest. Seniors often say, "I want to sleep, but my brain refuses." That is not because you don't know how to relax. It is simply biology changing inside you. Understanding this removes guilt. You are not weak. You are experiencing normal aging effects.
4. Emotional memories resurface. The older we grow, the more life we carry inside us. More memories, more experiences, more regrets, more losses, more lessons, more stories. The brain has stored everything, the good, the bad, the painful, the joyful. During the day, we stay distracted. We don't think about the past much because life keeps moving. But at night, when the world is silent, the brain begins organizing emotional memories like files being arranged on a shelf. This is when suppressed feelings rise. The loss of someone you love dearly, mistakes you wish you could undo, words you wish you had said or never said, old wounds that never fully healed, childhood memories, moments you miss, people who are no longer here, times you felt alone, scared, or helpless. The mind tries to repair emotional scars during quiet hours. But instead of healing, it creates overthinking because the heart is still attached. That's why many seniors cry silently at night, not because they are weak, but because night reveals what the day hides.
5. Fear of the future. When we are young, the future feels exciting and full of possibilities. But as we grow older, the future often becomes something we worry about. What will happen to my health? How long will my body support me? Will I become dependent on others? Will I be financially secure? Will my children and family stay close? What if I become alone? What is my purpose now? How many years do I have left? These questions rise at night because there is nothing else to distract them. The mind tries to solve every problem at once, even though it doesn't have the strength to do so. And here's the truth. The mind cannot solve problems when it is tired. A tired brain doesn't create clarity, it creates chaos. Nighttime fear turns into overthinking, and overthinking turns into sleeplessness. That's why some seniors say, "Night is the longest part of my day." The truth. Overthinking at night doesn't come because you have too many problems. It comes because your brain doesn't know how to switch off. The goal is not to remove thoughts. The goal is to disconnect from thoughts when you want to sleep. So let me teach you a powerful mind-quieting technique called the 4-7-8 Memory Release and Breath Method. A technique designed especially for seniors to calm the brain, slow the heart rate, relax the nervous system, and control runaway thoughts within minutes.
Step-by-step technique. Do this every night lying in bed. Step 1. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. This helps bring your mind back into your body instead of wandering into thoughts. Step 2. The 4-7-8 breathing cycle. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this 8 times. This breathing pattern increases oxygen, reduces cortisol, and sends a message to the brain. It's time to relax now. You cannot overthink and breathe deeply at the same time. The brain must choose one. Step 3. The thought transfer technique. After the breathing, do this silently. Say in your mind, "Not now, tomorrow morning." Then imagine your thoughts as papers being placed inside a box. Close the box. Lock it mentally. You're telling your brain, "We will deal with this later." The brain accepts commands when given calmly. Step 4. The memory softening exercise. Say softly to yourself, "I forgive what happened. I accept what is. I will sleep now." This releases emotional pressure. The body cannot sleep until the heart lets go.
Why this technique works. It turns off the fight or flight system and activates rest and digest. It slows your heartbeat so the mind calms automatically. It pulls your thoughts from the future and past back into the present moment. It programs your brain to stop thinking on command. Most seniors fall asleep within 5 to 10 minutes after a few days of repeating this technique. Consistency is the key.
What to avoid at night. Before we learn how to calm the mind, we must understand what makes overthinking worse. Many seniors unknowingly do things that keep the mind active instead of allowing it to rest. Sleep is not something you chase. Sleep is something that arrives naturally when the mind feels safe and relaxed. But certain habits block that process. They stimulate the brain when it should be slowing down, causing the mind to stay alert, restless, and full of thoughts. Let's look at the 6 major things to avoid at night, especially if you struggle with overthinking and sleeplessness.
Watching news before bed. Many seniors watch news channels late at night to stay informed, but most news today is filled with fear, conflict, negativity, argument panels, crime, political fights, sad stories. This creates emotional tension inside the brain. You may be sitting calmly, but your nervous system goes into alert mode. Your brain thinks something dangerous is happening, so it releases stress hormones, increases the heart rate, and activates the fight or flight response. That means when your body is trying to sleep, your brain is preparing for battle. After watching intense news, even if you switch off the TV, the mind continues thinking. Why is the world like this? What will happen tomorrow? Is everything getting worse? And the brain begins solving problems that are not even yours to fix. So, avoid news after 6 p.m. You will immediately notice calmer nights and a lighter mind.
2. Talking about stressful subjects late at night. Many families discuss serious issues at night because that is when everyone is free. But topics like money problems, family conflicts, health worries, relationship issues, children and responsibility stress, future plans and fears activate emotional and mental pressure. Nighttime is when the mind is already vulnerable and tired. Stressful conversations make it even more sensitive and reactive. One emotional sentence spoken at night can feel 10 times heavier than the same sentence spoken in the afternoon. That's why many seniors say, "I was fine in the morning, but someone said at night kept me awake till 3 a.m. So keep nights emotional, free, and peaceful. If something must be discussed, do it in the morning or early evening, not at night. Night is for healing, not arguing.
3. Sleeping in a dark, silent room with no background sound. Many people believe total silence is best for sleep.
But for overthinkers, silence is dangerous. Silence becomes the amplifier of thoughts. In a silent room, every thought becomes louder than normal. Small worry to big worry. One thought to 100 thoughts. It becomes like shouting inside your own brain. A calm background sound, like a fan, soft music, or rain sound, gives your mind something gentle to focus on, preventing it from jumping into spirals. Think of it like giving a child a soft toy to hold. It feels calmer immediately. Silence is not peaceful for everyone. For many seniors, silence becomes a battlefield. So avoid sleeping in complete silence. Give your brain a soft sound to relax with.
4. Lying in bed using a mobile phone. Scrolling late at night, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, news, Reels may feel relaxing, but it is not. Mobile screens emit blue light, which blocks the brain from producing melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. So instead of winding down, your brain becomes more awake, more alert, and more stimulated. Not only that, mobile use creates comparison, emotional reactions, information overload, anxiety from messages or posts, triggering news and negative content. Even harmless scrolling activates the part of the brain responsible for problem solving, which makes overthinking start automatically. Lying in bed with a phone teaches your brain that bed is for thinking and scrolling, not sleeping. So avoid mobiles at least 60 minutes before sleep. Let your mind rest.
5. Drinking tea or coffee in the evening. Many seniors love their evening tea or coffee. It is a habit built over decades. But caffeine stays in the body for 6 to 8 hours. So even if you drink tea at 6 p.m., caffeine is still active inside your brain at 11 p.m. or midnight. Caffeine does 3 things: increases alertness, stimulates the heart, blocks sleep signals. So while your mind wants rest, caffeine pushes it into activity. That leads to racing thoughts, restlessness, irritation, light sleep, or no sleep at all. Try switching to warm water, herbal tea, nutmeg milk, or ginger water in the evening instead. Your sleep will improve dramatically.
6. Trying too hard to sleep. This is the biggest mistake most people make. When you're lying in bed thinking, I must sleep now. If I don't sleep, tomorrow will be ruined. Why am I not sleeping? Something is wrong with me. You create mental pressure. Sleep is like a puppy. The more you chase it, the more it runs away. When you force sleep, the brain becomes anxious and alert instead of relaxed. The trick is, do not try to sleep, just try to relax. Focus on comfort, breathing, and slowing down, and sleep will come on its own. Sleep is like breathing. It happens naturally when you stop forcing it. What to do instead? Use soft background sound. A quiet fan, rain sound, nature ambiance. This gives the mind something to focus on, reducing mental noise. Talk to someone earlier in the evening. Expressing feelings reduces emotional pressure at night. Create a simple night routine. Warm water sip. Slow walk for 5 minutes. Light stretching. Gratitude journaling. Tell your brain a bedtime sentence. Say before sleeping, I am safe. I am calm. I am resting now. The brain listens. The science behind it. Many seniors believe that peaceful sleep is something that just happens naturally when we are young and slowly disappears as we age. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. Sleep is not only a physical process. Sleep is a brain and nervous system process. When the nervous system is calm, sleep comes automatically. When the nervous system is alert, sleep becomes a struggle. And the technique we discussed earlier is not magic. It is science, supported by decades of medical research. Let's break down what actually happens inside the brain and body when you use deep, slow, controlled breathing techniques at night.
1. Deep breathing reduces brainwave activity linked to anxiety. Our brain operates through electrical waves. When we are calm and ready to sleep, the brain enters alpha and theta waves, slow, peaceful waves that allow dreams and rest. But when we worry, stress, or overthink, the brain switches to beta waves, fast waves responsible for alertness, problem-solving, and danger response. Overthinking at night means your brain is stuck in beta mode, the same mode used during emergency or stressful situations. Deep breathing acts like a switch that tells the brain, "We are safe, we can slow down now." Research shows that within 2 to 3 minutes of slow, controlled breathing, the brain begins producing more alpha waves, leading to reduced mental noise, lower anxiety, calm emotional state, increased sleep readiness. So breathing changes the brain's electrical rhythm, shifting it from stress mode to sleep mode.
Chest-focused breathing reduces heart racing and body tension. When we are stressed or overthinking, the body reacts physically. Your heartbeat becomes faster. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your hands get cold or sweaty. Your chest feels heavy. This is called the fight or flight response, a survival mechanism meant to protect us from danger. The problem is, the brain cannot tell the difference between a real threat, like a tiger, and an emotional threat, like worry or regret. So when you lie in bed thinking, "What will happen tomorrow? What if something goes wrong? Why did this happen to me?" Your body behaves as if it is preparing to run or fight. The mind becomes even more alert, making sleep impossible. But when you perform slow chest-focused breathing, something powerful happens. You activate the vagus nerve, the body's natural relaxation switch. This reduces heart rate, relaxes muscles, and signals to the brain, the danger is gone, it is safe to rest. Once the heartbeat slows down, the brain has no choice but to calm down too, because the brain and heart are directly connected. That is why many seniors say, "After breathing slowly, I felt something inside me release."
Seniors who practice controlled breathing sleep 57% faster. Multiple sleep studies conducted on adults over age 55 show extraordinary results. Research found that seniors who practiced controlled breathing exercises before sleep fell asleep 57% faster, had fewer night awakenings, reported less mental restlessness, experienced deeper sleep cycles, and felt more energy in the morning. The reason is simple. When the brain receives rhythmic signals through breath count, it stops chaotic thinking and begins following the rhythm. Think of it like giving a crying child something simple to count. The mind becomes focused instead of wandering. Breathing is the most reliable natural medicine for sleep. No pills, no machines, no side effects, just oxygen and rhythm.
The mind accepts sleep faster when given structure and sensory repetition. The brain loves patterns. When it recognizes a repeated pattern, it feels safe and relaxed.
That is why lullabies put babies to sleep. Soft, repetitive rhythm signals the brain to settle. The same science works for seniors. When you repeat controlled breathing, like 4 seconds inhale, 7 seconds hold, 8 seconds exhale, the brain detects a predictable, gentle pattern, and the nervous system immediately begins preparing for sleep. This is called sensory repetition, where the body and brain work together like partners. Instead of fighting against thoughts, you replace thoughts with repetition, and slowly the mind lets go. You cannot think and deeply breathe at the same time. The brain must choose one, and it always chooses breathing. Final message. Dear seniors, you spent your whole life solving problems. You worked hard for your family. You sacrificed your own needs for others. You carried responsibilities that nobody ever saw. Now, your nights are not meant for worry. They are meant for peace, healing, rest, recovery. You deserve sleep. You deserve silence. You deserve mornings that feel fresh, not heavy. So tonight, practice the 4-7-8 mind-quieting sleep technique and take back control over your mind. Not by fighting your thoughts, but by gently releasing them. Your brain listens when you speak kindly to it.